Is it okay for a spouse to date while he or she is separated from his or her husband or wife? The answer is, it depends on what you mean by dating. To be very explicit, if dating means adultery, sodomy, or buggery in Virginia, that can have severe consequences on that person's divorce case. And specifically, adultery, sodomy, and buggery are fault grounds for divorce, and they're fault grounds that allow a party to obtain a divorce and to file for divorce without any waiting period in Virginia. In addition, adultery, sodomy, or buggery, under the Virginia Code, the judge is instructed to deny spousal support to a spouse, the guilty spouse, when that fault ground exists in the divorce case, unless it's proven by clear and convincing evidence that such a denial of support would be a manifest injustice, with the court instructed to balance the relative fault between the parties and the relative economic condition or circumstances of each party. So it's possible that, depending on how you define dating, that dating might result in your losing your right to receive permanent spousal support or maintenance. And finally, adultery, sodomy, or buggery, like the other fault grounds for divorce in Virginia, cruelty, reasonable apprehension of bodily harm, desertion or abandonment, conviction of a felony and subsequent confinement, those are all factors that the judge is instructed to consider in starting the process of equitable distribution and analyzing the factors that he or she will use to divide up the property and the debts. Fault grounds, the causes and circumstances of the dissolution of the marriage, including the specific fault grounds, are something that the judge is supposed to consider. Now, case law establishes a requirement in general that there be some connection between the fault behavior and the economic condition of the parties, or their mental condition, or the well-being of the family, so that the fault affects the quantum of property or value of property or the economic condition of the marriage, that there's some connection between those two. So can you date when you're separated? It depends on what you mean by dating. And if dating means sexual intercourse with a person who's not your spouse, or other forms of sexual behavior with someone who's not your spouse, it can have severe consequences in your divorce case. You should consult with your Virginia divorce lawyer to discuss how any behavior by you or your spouse might affect the outcome of your divorce in Virginia.